Downtime in the ring.
Tell me about this event. Let's get into your event. Let's talk about like what you got
Yeah,
going on March 2nd. Um, out in I don't even know what is it?
Bethlehem. Bethlehem.
I want to say
It's a
Bethlehem, but
good
I don't
thing
want
this
to
isn't
confuse it.
live, brother. It's a good thing we're
I know.
recording this, right?
We're live, brother. Vince
No,
B
no.
going crazy in the back. So let me know
But no, it's
what do we got going?
so it's March 2nd at Bethlehem, PA. Wow. In Bethlehem, PA at the Boys and Girls Club, 1437 Fritz Drive. That's bad that I remember that by heart. We have No Bystanders from Phantom 6. We're going to have wrestling and music once again. This time, not a whole day of wrestling, just, one show and then music afterwards. And yeah, that's what we got going on.
See, I like the way that you do that. Especially like seeing you, put out little feelers while this show was kind of in the works currently as you want to mix two different they are different. I mean, physically they are different, but two mediums, you want to bring them together, something that's always gone good, something that has been proven successful with like Brooke Havoc's emo night or Wale Mania, is you want to mix music and wrestling together. I do appreciate that. Before we get into who's on the card for the matches, who are some of the artists that you're bringing on, or who are some what are we doing with the music wise? Have you reached out to
Right.
people? Have people reached out to you? What are we doing there?
All right. So we actually have a former wrestler. Well, not for he's wrestling again. That I knew from a promotion called Outbreak Wrestling, which is now AXW. His name is Kurt Blair, and he goes by the musical name of Blair. And he has actually a music group. So that music group is going to come in with him, and we're going to let them perform. And it's going to be, like I said, after the show. It'll be probably starting around 5:30, 6 o'clock. Fingers crossed. But it's going to be him with his group. He's actually going to wrestle that night too, which is going to be cool. So he's going to wrestle and then do music, which is pretty funny because the first show we had Jimmy Conway, who came out, managed his tag partner Luca Brasi, and also performed that night at our after party. So we're going to do it again. We're going to have a wrestler perform his music, which is pretty cool.
That's dope, dude. That's a cool way. He's taking bumps and then he's got to go perform. Um, and then how are you like formatting the show? Is it just going to be first four matches, intermission, final three matches or two matches or whatever, then go
Yeah.
straight into like the meet and greets and then go into the concert, or you skip at the meet and greets and just being like, whoever stays, they can meet these people, or whoever
Right.
hasn't hit the road yet. Like, what are we doing there?
Yeah, so it's gonna go, first, like you said, first four matches, then we'll go into our intermission, and then we'll have the final three matches. We're gonna set something up with Ace Austin to do a meet and greet, before the show, depending on everything that happens with travel and things like that. And then also, if people like if the wrestlers decide they want to hang out afterwards and stay around for the music, we'll have the opportunity for them to, kind of chill out and sell some more merch if they want to, right after the show and during the music.
Uh, what are bleh, my head just went all over the place. So
You're
I'm
good.
speaking of Ace Austin. I'm super excited to see Ace Austin. I am gonna go see TNA. This is my first ever TNA show in El
Ooh,
Paso in March. I'm going to the pay-per-view
ooh.
Sacrifice, so I'm super excited to see your boy out there. See what kind of storyline or what he's doing. Um, I think this is like it'll be like one of Joe Hendry's like
Oh, you know
first
what?
ever.
Hold on, hold on. Since we know he's doing the singles run right now, a lot of us know why. I just gotta, flash the shirt real quick. You can still
Hey,
purchase the We Love Bay shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees. Go support the boy Chris Bay. Prayers up for that man. He's, unfortunately, had a broken back, had a broken neck, but he is making strides every day, from what I know. And sooner than later, he's gonna be back in that ring. But go to Pro Wrestling Tees, buy your We Love Bay shirts, and support the boy. And also, I'm gonna throw that little catchphrase out there. Sound we on. Too sweet, baby.
E. E. No, yes. Shout out to Chris Bay. That was a scary thing that happened way back in, like, what was it? October?
Almost, yeah, because I remember it had to be a few months after my show because I remember like we were talking and I was like, not so much talking, but I remember we were texting and like just and then I saw on Twitter the one day, like, oh, this happened, and I was like, man, crazy.
Yeah, it was
And I remember just
it was
being
a
so,
random night too. I remember when that
yeah,
happened because
I was
we had
laying.
just gotten done having Brittany, like, 2 weeks.
Oh,
2 weeks before that, we had Brittany. We had his girlfriend on the pod, and I remember when the incident happened because I immediately grab my phone and I go talk to my girlfriend. And I'm like, Chris is hurt. She's like, which Chris? Because it's a very common name, and I was like, here's the reports. I told Brooks, like, our prayers, everything, he's in our hearts, he's in our prayers. But I remember when that happened, that was wild. And I do have a lot of respect for a lot of the backstage crew and a lot of the wrestlers out in TNA, because
oh yeah,
we haven't seen, like, for me, I wasn't at that TNA show. A lot of those fans have kept very quiet about what happened. A lot of the wrestlers haven't said anything. They're waiting for him to say it on, when he's able to go on a podcast. So hopefully, like, Chris Van Vliet will have the story, and prayers up to him. I did hear that he is, he is walking, he is mobile. So if he's already doing that, man, this next time is gonna be wild. I can't wait till he comes back.
oh yeah, that's the guy right there. And bro, I remember I was laying in my bed, uh, and I saw on Twitter that it happened, and I literally shut down because like meeting Chris, like I've met Chris a few times now. First time I met him was at again Outbreak for their they did like a Legends at Hamburg Fest at the Hamburg Fieldhouse, and he was there, and day one we kind of just like clicked right away. It was like we knew each other for years. Uh, and then obviously in September when I had my show, like, he was super cool. He actually hung out the whole day, even stayed for the after party and was like just telling me how awesome it was for him to be there, and how proud he was of me. And it was cool. It was like it was almost like I've known this guy for 20 plus years, and like it was like family with him. So it literally shattered me when I found out he was hurt, and I didn't know the extent of the injury or anything. Uh, so I was like, damn, bro, like, it was one of those things like, fuck, you don't want to see anybody get hurt, but
Yeah.
especially when it's somebody that you look at as close to you. So I was like, fuck, man, like, no, like, this can't be true. Like, you know how it is in wrestling. So we always go, is this a storyline? Like, what's going on? But no, I'm glad, that he is doing good. I've actually talked to him a little bit more recently, not much, but just checking on him and things like that. And he's just, like I said, doing good. And like I said, I look at him as somebody that's pretty cool, and like I said, I consider him a friend now. Uh, and it's good to hear that he's doing better.
100%, man. And then your boy, you know, kind of being respectfully being the guy of Phantom Six at this point, you know, it's the most respectful way I can say that. He is the guy of Phantom Six, Ace Austin.
Hey,
It's wild for you to say, like, yo, this is my second show. I had I had members of the Bullet Club at my first one. Now respectfully, he's solo. He's got to carry that on his back
hey,
until Chris is back.
hey!
But once he does, man,
It's
that they're gonna be on fire again. Hopefully by then they have
hey,
some Phantom Six tag team titles.
Who knows? Who knows? But it's always ABC, as simple as one, two, sweet, three. I think I said their catchphrase right. If not, oh well. But no, yeah, no. Like you said, man, Ace is. I've known Ace forever at this point, and to have him at Phantom Six is such an honor. The fact that I had him and Chris there with the TNA tag titles at my very first show. Not many promoters can say that. There's promoters out there that are, wait 15 plus 20 years to do something like that. If they ever get that chance, I had it on my first show, and that's like something I take pride in. Like, man, I had the TNA tag champions there, and the fact that it's TNA now, and a lot of people only know TNA as TNA. They don't, they didn't know it as Impact. A lot of fans said that they were like, "Oh, we started watching TNA again because of the TNA rebrand coming back."
TNA.
Like, it's crazy.
And it's wild, and just the plans that we've talked about, behind the scenes of like everything that you want to do with Phantom Six. This is going to be huge. So what made you decide, like I said, I love the fact, I'm very inspired that you want to bring a bunch of different worlds together every time you do a show, or you want the shows to mean something. What made you go, you know what, I'm gonna have a concert and wrestling this time? Like, what snapped in your
Right.
mind that day?
Well, every time, the idea of Phantom Six was always to have music with wrestling. Because I have a deep love for the hip hop music, uh, and I have a deep love for wrestling, obviously. So I always was like, let me mix my combination of love and joy together. And there's a lot of other people in this world that love the hip hop music and love wrestling. So it was like, that's gonna bring attention. And it's crazy too. Like, man, being able to put two things that I love a lot together is great. And it's not always going to be hip hop music. Hip hop's my number one, but I'm also going to bring other, bands in and things like that. Our first show for September, I had a rock band there. I had hip hop. I had pop. I had all kinds of different genres. So it's always going to be different music. It's just gonna, like you said, combining the communities as much as I can. You know, I just want people to be able to come to Phantom Six, enjoy themselves with whatever it is. If they want to come for the music and they're like, you know what, let's check out the wrestling part, and then they see wrestling and they become wrestling fans. That's gonna be great. On top of that, seeing that or hearing that, I should say, or vice versa. Maybe there's a wrestling fan that's never listened to hip hop music or whatever music we're having that day, and you're like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna follow this artist. It's combining the communities as well as giving people time to forget whatever life problems they're facing with while they're at the shows. Like I said, All In Together was the suicide prevention, and that's something that is always going to be big in my heart. So every show we do, I want to still give people the chance to forget their life for a little bit and enjoy themselves and kind of forget their life problems, because we all go through it. I said that the last time. But the fact that I get to do this and I'll be able to do it for a few months is going to be great.
Are you gonna have like exclusive event shirts this time, like you did Phantom Six
Uh,
at the first event, or
so
no?
no, so we are not going to have exclusive event shirts for this one. But when we do All In Together too, we'll make another special shirt for that. But this one, we're just going to have the regular Phantom Six shirts in the on the merch stand. Which reminds me, I still got to send you yours.
I was gonna say I've been waiting for mine,
Bro,
bro.
you
I
know what it
will
is?
I will hang it above the Duke City. Like, I have this whole wall, bro. I rearranged my whole studio wherever you want Phantom Six, dude. It can be.
No, you know what it is? It's just because so the grocery store down the street from me, they had a US mail like post office that I used to be like go to and used to be able to just ship it out free of charge almost pretty much. It was like a couple bucks, but it's nothing compared to other places charge. But they shut that down, so I'm like, dang, this kind of sucks because now I gotta pay a little bit more to send shirts out, which is fine. I don't care. But I'm like, ugh.
I, I get you. I get you on that one, dude. Especially because, um, like like I said, we've been reaching out to voice actors for the other show for effing around, which I can't wait. One, I'm gonna bring you on effing around, and we're just literally gonna fuck around and just talk random shit, which is gonna be
There we
great
go.
too. Like that one's gonna be fun too because we got the other co-hosts and we're just gonna go wild on that one. But like me having to ship cards out now for like Yu-Gi-Oh voice actors and being like, "Yo, sign my card," after we get done talking or having the interviews or anything like that. Um, no, I'm super excited to see the results of this. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to make this March show, but me and my partner, we have it dead set. Whenever you give us the official day for All In Together 2, we will be there. We're super excited.
Well,
One, both of us have never been to uh Pennsylvania. Like neither of us have been to Pennsylvania, so I'm like, cool, that's dope.
we got to get you out for a week. We got to get you out here. You got to
Oh
come
yeah,
from Sunday. Well, a week and a day. You got to come from
yeah.
Sunday leading up to the show, or Sunday to Sunday, and then go back on Monday. So I can show you around a little bit. You can hang out with the boys, and just enjoy yourself.
Oh yeah, I agree.
But I will announce it here. Wait, are we filming? I feel like.
Yeah, we're filming. We've been filming for like 43 minutes.
All right. Well, I didn't know. You know what? What it is. I'm so used to the filming, and then somebody going, "Oh, we're going live," and then introducing me. So I was like, "Are we filming?"
No,
No, it's all good.
when you're a return guest, we just have cold opens and we just vibe and we chill because that's how it should be. You feel like you're home again. That's how I want it.
I mean, it is. I mean, what? Am I the first three-time guest now?
You are the first 3-time guest.
Ooh, all
Hey
right.
yo.
No, but September 7th is going to be all in together. Yeah, September 7th it was. Is going to be all in together too.
Oh hell yeah. Okay, cool. So
Let me double check. Actually, let me check the calendar. Let me. I think it's September 7th though. It's the first Sunday again. I'm also realize I'm running all Sundays, which is great because I get to use the talent I want to use and not have any issues. Yep, September 7th is all in together too, which is going to be amazing.
no, that's dope, dude. That's awesome. Now I can let her know so we can start planning for that. Um,
Yes, sir.
because
Uh,
this year we've kind of
there.
taken what's up?
So there's two airlines you can fly into. I don't know, or airlines. Wow, airports you can maybe fly into that are in the Lehigh Valley if you want to stay in the Lehigh Valley. Then we have the ABE airport, which is Allentown.
Okay.
If you want to look, I don't know. I really don't know if they're. See, I don't. I'm sure you can maybe find out because I think they opened uh, their airport up to a lot of other areas. And then obviously we have Philadelphia. Philly's a little bit more expensive to fly into. I found that out with Chris Bay.
Wow.
The cheapest place you'll be able to probably fly into is going to be Newark, which is New Jersey, but that's not far from Pennsylvania at all. It's like an hour to the Lehigh Valley area.
Oh, that's not
Uh,
bad.
no, and Newark is not a bad airport. But if you're in the city of Newark, yeah, it's not such a great time. But you're only gonna fly in and probably come out this way, so you'll be fine.
Donovan, where are you going for vacation? I'm going to New Jersey. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to Pennsylvania. But like, no, I was saying like because we decided to expand more and not just do wrestling this year. We're taking a lot more opportunities, comedy, just mostly filming. So I've been more dead set this year instead of being like, oh yeah, I can do that. is actually like I want to have most of my booking dates done so that I know, okay, cool, this is what I can and can't do. And we're super excited, man.
Right.
I'm excited to see what you do this next time after such an amazing event that you put on for the first All In Together. But no bystander, that's going to be a very interesting show. And I saw that you announced the six man. You have Smash and Burn teaming up with obviously Ace. But who are their
Yes,
opponents?
sir. So their opponents are going to be Big Pound. Wait,
Okay.
actually, hold on. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'll put it on the pod. I'm not going to make you edit that. I mean, we can edit what I'm saying now because I
Yeah.
was like, wait, did I announce? It's supposed to be like I remember I announced it as a mystery thing, but once this gets posted, I'm sure we'll have it announced at that point. Uh,
This is probably going to get posted. This can be posted this week or it can be pushed to next week. It's up to you, man.
uh, well, you know what? We'll keep it at no. You know what? I'll announce it on here. Fuck it, because I announced it on the other show anyways. But it's gonna be Ace Austin in Smash and Burn versus Big Pound, and there's some history there. He's a trainee of Ace Austin.
Oh,
A
wow.
little
Okay.
bit of history there. And he's going to be teaming with South Philly's finest, which is OGs of mine. I look at them as I call them my uncles in a way. But they're gonna be in there with Ace Austin, and they actually felt a type of way about the first show and not getting that opportunity to be in there like Smash and Burn was. So they kind of took it upon themselves. Kind of attacked Ricky from behind when we were talking about them teaming up with Ace Austin in March. And they felt, like I said, they felt a type of way. They were like, that was supposed to be our opportunity, so now we're gonna take our opportunity. And I know this match is gonna get insanely crazy. There's gonna be a lot of great things in there, and I had to put Ace with Smash and Burn. I think that first show having Ace and Chris versus Smash and Burn was great, and Ace drew a respect for Ricky and Junie that night. And I think him leading them as a mentor style way is going to be great for them. They're gonna ignite that fire, and it's just going to take them somewhere. And like I said, SPF or OG, so they're going to try and take that opportunity right out of from under the Smash and Burn.
So I love the history that you've actually thought and putting into each of these matches. And I mean, we even talked about it for the first show when we did that backstage watch along. Um, you know, what is the overall story, or I mean, you don't have to say the overall story, but like, what is your vision for having Ace in Phantom 6 as of right now? Like, what are you trying to do mostly with him and Smash and Burn, especially Smash and Burn,
Right.
because those guys are so entertaining. I love the gear. I love just the way they come for those. What is the grand scheme as of right now that you're using with
Right.
these guys?
Well, let's start with the Smash and Burn story first, right? So with Smash and Burn, I'm giving them a platform where they can shine and show how great they really are. Yeah, the first time we did an interview, I said how much how much I believe in Smash and Burn with Ricky and Junie, and how much I know that they can be on a bigger stage. If it's together, if it's alone, however it may be, I want to give them that platform though, where they can showcase and be in the ring with the best of the best. Like those boys can hold their own. They proved that night one against the Bullet Club / ABC. They showed like, oh, we're here to stay. And the crazy part about that was only their fifth tag match in a matter of how long they've been teaming at that point. So five tag matches, and they went in there with ABC and stood their own, almost beat them. They almost beat them. This close. So having Smash and Burn, like I said, it's to give them a platform where they can shine and show how great they are. And the thing with Ace is, Ace is somebody I look up to in a way. Somebody I can go to when I need a yes, or not when I need a yes man, but when I need somebody to give me some advice and tell me if I'm messing up, tell me things, whatever. And having Ace at Phantom Six means everything to me. It's an honor because, like I said, I've known him for a very long time, and having Ace there, man, that's somebody that has a lot steam behind him right now and is taking over the world. So for him to be at Phantom Six is going to continue to happen as much as his schedule allows. But having him there, I want to have him there not only for the fans and things like that, but it's also to help the younger kids in the back, or even the younger talents, or even some older guys. Have them look up to him and get advice from him and things like that as well.
That's dope. That's awesome, man. I love the community, even of just your wrestlers that you've built and that you're growing. Also, Junie, Ricky, come spend some downtime in the ring. But overall,
I will make sure that we figure this out with that.
oh yeah, no, I would love to just sit down with them individually and just be like, yo, like let's just talk. I mean, I'd love to have them on together because that would be cool. I haven't had a
Yeah.
full tag team on at the same time yet, but
Well, I will put the what do they say? The bug in the ear, and
yeah.
I'm sure they'd have no issues with doing it.
Oh yeah, I mean,
You know,
shit. This show just it had a contracted UFC fighter last week. Now we got a promoter again this week. So we just
first
we just
three
vibing
time
all week.
guest, remember it.
First 3 time guest, man. We just vibed this entire time. So overall, though, man, like you know, it's fun to see what you've done with Phantom Six, and it's exciting to see what you're gonna do again. With No Bystander, and obviously I know when that day comes, I'm gonna do what I did for All In Together. I'm gonna text you, good luck, you deserve this, that, and the other. But I ain't gonna text you again until probably that Thursday because I know all that momentum is still gonna carry over to that day.
Yeah, I already said like it started his set now where I know it's gonna be like all in together where like I'm not gonna get much sleep leading up to March 2nd, because it's right around the corner. And I also know I'm probably not gonna get much sleep the week after, or the few days after. I'm gonna crash hard come that Thursday, but I know I'm gonna be like, I can't fall asleep. I got to plan for the next one, and this time there is a next one, like the first time I was on here, I was like, I don't know if there's going to be a second show. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not going to run another one. This is done. And now look at me. I'm promoting more shows, right? But no, it's going to be great. And, it's gonna be one of those things I'm gonna look back at and be like, I can't believe I did that one too. Like, again, look at the name. The names alone on here. I have Ace Austin. I have Casey Navarro coming back. I have who's making waves in TNA right now.
That that is wild that you have. Yes, that we're gonna have to talk about that because that is wild for one. I was like, what?
Yeah, well, we
you have
have.
most of TNA. That's all it is at this point.
I mean, hey, and I take pride in that too because I'm not gonna lie. When I was growing up, I was a TNA kid when I started finding out about TNA. I wasn't a WWE kid. I was a TNA kid watching AJ Styles and watching Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle. I'm not gonna say the name that we all call him anymore because he doesn't like it, but things like that, man. But having Casey there, having Ace there, and then we're gonna have Jasmine Allure from the Texas area. We have NWA representatives in PB Smooth on this show. Like this is another show that's crazy. When you think about it, you're like, man, this is insane. And the fact that I'm doing this is like such an honor. I keep saying it, like, and it's not just for me. Like I said, I will never. It's none of these shows are about me. It's about giving the fans something to appreciate and look forward to, as well as giving the performers something to look forward to. So it's crazy. It's crazy that this is happening. Like I said, we have 3 shows leading into All In Together too. Oh, and another thing, while we're talking here, We're also going to have a callback to her first show once again, another match that was supposed to happen, but somebody couldn't get to good old Bethlehem, Pennsylvania because of Regency in Mexico City, Mexico, and I had to deal with lawyers and me. We're not going to talk about that. But Tommy Vex is going to face Logie P that night.
Oh,
We're going to make that match happen. And, well,
okay.
good old Tommy Vex says that Logie P has no friends and yada, yada, yada. And he's going to have his manager, Mary Beth, with him. And Tommy's going to have no friends there. Well,
Tommy Vex, you suck. Logie, downtime stands for Logie P, dog.
well. And since Donovan, you can't be there, we have somebody a little bit more, that's going to make sure that Mary sticks to the rules and does
Oh,
what,
no.
stays out the way. We have from your Lehigh Valley Phantoms, Melvin, that is going to come out with Logie P that night to make sure that Mary Beth sticks to, the rules and doesn't try to interfere that night.
Melvin's the greatest. Melvin's the real GOAT.
Yes, he is. And, I mean, look, he said he has no friends, but Logie found the best friend any man can have in Melvin. So, let's see what happens that day.
I eventually hope for Phantom 6 because I got to see the opposite of this out at Duke City. So one of the owners of Duke City, he does a lot of the he's a big sports broadcaster in Albuquerque. He does the voice for the local arena hockey team out there. So the hockey team actually came out and chased away one of the heels at the show. So I would love to see maybe not anything like that for Phantom 6, but if you were able to do maybe a pre-game match or something with the Phantoms,
Never say
eventually that'd be cool.
never say never. That'd be sick. They're in the name. Like I said before when we first talked, that you asked me what was the inspiration behind the name, and of course it's the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, and like I said, it's you know, and it's also a sick name. Like I said before, like Phantom, like nobody's ever had that in a wrestling company. And
Yeah.
then of course, you have the 6 with the 610 area code, like I said before, and it's pretty cool, and it'd be cool intertwining my love for hockey into this too.
Oh, 100%. Like, that's why I say, man, I love our friendship because I'm inspired by a lot of things you do. And
I
I
appreciate
look
that.
outside of what can I do um to grow myself? And like even with Teasy, somebody that we've mentioned before in previous episodes, like how,
My
he's
guy right
passionate
there.
about us. I've had to have a sit down with him and be like, all right, boss man, I think it's time for me to not step away from wrestling, but broaden my horizons, still focus on wrestling, but let the bigger picture. And he's and I'm pulling the curtain back for a lot of people. He was 100% into that, where he was like, you know what, do that because you got to let wrestling miss you. And we did that for months, and then we come out to Albuquerque Comic Con, and literally they missed us. They were like, oh my god, we haven't seen y'all in much. Like, what's going on? So it's something that you're doing well. You're not having shows every month. You're having shows
Nope.
so far out that people are gonna miss you, and they're gonna be excited when it comes back because I'm not very like I mean, obviously it's not a joke, or it's not a work. I don't know the scene of wrestling that you guys have in Pennsylvania. We're barely growing ours here in New Mexico, but I can almost guarantee that show is going to be a sellout or close to it
Right.
because you know you're an easy promoter to talk to. You're not trying to sell me snake oil like we've met with other promoters in the business. You're just like, oh yeah, you want to come to my show? All right, that's cool. And you work with people the same way you did with All In Together, you know,
Right.
and that makes it a lot easier for people to come to want to come back and be like cool. Plus, I mean, like you got two talent from TNA. You got an NWA guy. I'm just waiting to see the GCW one next, or the freaking I'm trying to think of another company too that just allows it. I'm randomly just NJPW, but like you know what I mean. You got
Well,
you got you never know.
technically, we did have New Japan representatives with Ace and Chris, even though they were never, fully contracted with them, but they were in Japan, so we technically had New Japan already.
It counts. The pandemic ruined it, but it counted. It still counts. But like you know what I mean? Like you're doing these cool things to where people feel good to come back. And even if
Right,
you decide yourself, that you want to do Phantom 6 event, but it doesn't include wrestling all that much. Like if it's more concert than wrestling the next time, or if it's just a
right,
solo concert event, like music festival style event or anything like that with Phantom 6 labeled on it, I know for a fact it's going to be successful because you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're giving
right,
people
and
enough, but you're letting them miss you.
right, and that's the thing too, right? Like with Phantom Six, it's an interchangeable name. I can put Phantom Six as a, if I wanted to, I can make a beer out of it. I can make a music group out of it. There's so much I could do with Phantom Six because it's not. It doesn't say Phantom Six, whatever, it just says Phantom Six Pro Wrestling, but that name could be interchangeable for anything, which is pretty sick too. And that was another reason why I was like, this name is great because it sounds good with anything. Like, imagine a Phantom Six video game. Like, imagine being a kid and you're like, Phantom Six video game, and it's like, some like sick video game. Not even like, imagine hearing that as a like video game
I
name.
like
Like,
the
it's
Phantom 6 beer idea. I really do like that.
never say never. There might be something in the works. Just say. Me and Country Club Brewing have been talking. We might be brewing up
Oh!
a little Phantom Six, a brewery beer, and maybe even a Phantom Six seltzer. We're just
Oh,
saying. We're just saying.
but it's that fun part too, man. Like that's the same way when I came up with in Gorilla, and I started in Gorilla. It's the same way, man. Like the names are interchangeable, and a lot of people were confused when I first made it. They were like, "You made a whole wrestling website," and I'm like, "No, dog. The whole point of in Gorilla is we're backstage. We're in the
Right,
depths. That's the whole point. But not just in wrestling. It's in comedy. It's in conventions. It's chilling out with voice actors. It's
right.
a few of the future guests that you guys can go check on effing around. We got John Connor coming on. We got Steve Staley coming on. We got Ashley T, which is literally a rapper, a voice actor, a corn star, and it's just chilling. It's vibing. Like
And
you get the
never,
whole thing.
and never say never. I
Oh,
might
Dylan,
be on there one of
you'll
these.
be on there, but I'm probably gonna bring you on effing around probably when there's like a little lull in wrestling, and so we could all talk music for like an hour and a half, and that'd be perfectly fine at that point.
I'll talk music. I'll talk sports. I'll talk video games. Whatever. Hey. You
Yeah,
know, MLB The Show's coming out soon, so that's gonna be my go-to game because man, I'm already like, hey.
and see, like that's the good part about like this whole network that we've created is just it's interchangeable, and that's why I love Phantom 6, man. I can't wait to see what else you decide to do, how else you decide to grow grow this brand, grow this next show. I Are you gonna have the same camera guys that you did the first show? Are they gonna do this show or not?
Yeah, so 570 fan cam experience will be there once again. Or I'm sorry, 570 party cam will be there. And I also will have another person coming in to film as well from out this way. His name is Carlo, and we're gonna have him there. He's gonna film, like I said, with Lindsay, and it's gonna be fully edited into all one show. And we're gonna have commentary, everything like that. It's gonna be, man, I can't wait to see it on film because it's gonna look so amazing. And obviously, from the standpoint of being at wrestling shows, you know how it goes when you're running the thing. You don't get to watch everything like you want to. So when I get to finally do what I did with All In Together One and watch the whole show, it's going to be amazing.
It's the same way, like even filming, like from my point of view, even filming the show, you are watching the match through a camera. I don't remember a match. I couldn't tell you a spot
Well,
because
that
I'm like, it looks great. It looks great on camera. But then,
right.
5 minutes later, I'll have one of my buddies come out and be like, "Yo, what'd you think of my match?" And I'm like, "I'm gonna be 1,000% honest. I forgot you were in the ring. I was just pointing the camera, trying to get everything that
And
needed to be
that's
done."
that's the thing too, right? Like even with me doing the refing, it's like, I always tell people like while we're in the ring, yeah, when we get to the back, I'll tell you, hey, that was good, that was bad, whatever. Uh, but don't ask me for me to go spot for spot with you and be like, oh, this was a great spot, or this was like, because human brains aren't supposed to contain what we have to in wrestling, anyways. But it was like that too as a promoter, like I uh, I watched as much as I could live at All In Together One. But then when I rewatched it, that's when it really became, it was one of those things where I was like, oh, okay, cool. I don't remember this spot happening, but that was pretty sick. Like, things like that. So it happens as a promoter, it happens as a referee, it happens as a commentator, camera guy. You're gonna forget things, but then when you watch it back, you're like, "Oh, that was cool. I missed that, but that was great." It happens when you watch movies too. I heard that all the time as a kid. When you watch a movie, if you watch it a second time, you'll be like, "Oh, I don't remember that happened the first time, but this was pretty cool."
No, it does because um, man, I had to stutter there real quick. So these guys, this is like kind of our home promotion as of right now. They kind of did what you did. They contracted out a video company to come film, and then they do their commentary. Like the owners do the commentary for it. They do it live, but then they still have to upload a real show where they rewatch it and then they give their thoughts again on YouTube. Uh, Shout out to Duke City Championship Wrestling on YouTube. So it happens all the time, and even when I was editing wrestling shows, um, for P1P, there were moments where I was like, when did this happen? And it's my own camera angle. And I'm like, oh
Right.
man, like I don't even remember this. So I can only imagine, you having to, you know, you book 7 matches. You also got to worry about the venue. You also got to answer every time every single person has 10 questions when 9 of them could have been answered on their own. And I'm not wrong on that. And you're stressed
No,
out enough already.
That's the thing, though. That's something I knew when I was, getting into the promoting thing. I knew, it was going to be one of those things that there was a lot. It's not just throw a show together and sit back. And, it's not that. You have to be hands on with the talent. You have to be hands on with whoever, the fans. You have to talk to the fans. Hey, what did you like about the show? Hey, what didn't you like? Or, hey, thank you for coming out. Things like that. Like, you're all over the place. You're running 1,000 miles a minute. You don't slow down. Like I already know, March 2nd, I'm gonna probably be drinking a lot of coffee and a lot of energy drinks.
And
uh,
like
but
that's
it's
the
just to
part that
keep
I
up with
love.
everybody.
Oh yeah. That's the part I love about not being a promoter, respectfully, is you're going, you're in their hands, you're like, thank you for being here. I'm what was the I can't even remember what the chant started. There was a chant, there's been multiple chants I've started just picking on my friends who are in the ring with fans. Like I go and I physically interact with them. I will start chants, or I will be the antagonist, or I will, if a kid wants to have a special moment, I'll pick them up, I'll go do all that. Me and one fan, we did commentary off my phone for a vlog, and he was like, I love this. This is the best show I've been to. And I was like, yeah, dude, this is what we do. So I see what promoters do. You guys are, respectful, thanking each and every fan. I'm the chihuahua you guys sent out to just go and mingle with everybody. And I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a fun one. Let's have fun here. So I enjoy
Right.
that stuff.
Yeah,
But
no, it's It's one of those things though, like, cause like as a promoter, you have to you got to make sure you know what the fans want or liked and didn't like, and there is promotions out there that don't do that. I'm not gonna lie, we all know that, but um, for the most part, you always gotta give the fans what they want, and that's something I've the vision behind Phantom Six. I'm giving fans something that they want but didn't know they wanted. Like I said, that first show we had Smash and Burn versus ABC. Like that's a match not many people probably would even thought of or would think would be possible to happen, and then we did it. We also intertwined. We had a WWE ID guy with Marcus Mathers versus Malik Delvante on that show. That's a match that many people were probably like, "Ooh, I didn't know that was even a thing. Let's see what happens." And it winded up being a very good match. And then you had, and then I had guys that were in there that have been working for years versus newer up and comers, like Logie P. Once again, I had him versus Stan Styles. Like there's so much on that show from night one that like it was like if I'm putting it on paper and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna like this. I know a lot of other people are gonna like it. It's I don't put things on paper or write things in my phone, whatever you want to say, where I'm like, where it's like I look at it and I'm like, this is just for me. I'm only gonna enjoy it. No, it's for everybody. You know, so it's cool. Like the fact that like I said, show two is gonna be even wilder. Like it's crazy. And show three is probably gonna be a little bit more crazy. We gotta keep the ante going a little bit. Uh, and I'm gonna announce it here too. Another thing I'm gonna announce, which is going to be crazy and ridiculous and like insane. And I don't know why I'm doing this, but it's something I think is going to be great. I'm actually hosting a Phantom Six show on my birthday in July, on July 6th. So it's going to be my birthday bash, which is going to be very crazy, very insane. But I was like, this is going to be
Yeah.
great. And that's going to be our last show before All In Together. So we're going to go July and then September. And that's when our year ends is in September. But man, I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. Why not?
I love that. That's the good part about owning your own wrestling company. You get to have birthday bashes.
That's the thing. I was like, you know what? It's gonna be a little cool, like, hey, it'll be fun. It's gonna suck, stress wise. I've never had a more stressful birthday. But it's gonna be fun. I can't wait.
I learned that term of uh own your own wrestling company. You can have your own cool birthday parties from Manny Lemons. He did that last year for his, and I was like, oh, that's dope. I love though a little bit. I caught it when you did the and I know it was unintentional when you were like, I'm gonna put this card together because I like it. I was like, man, he sound like Vince. But like that's the cool part. And like even Mathers, having Mathers on, if he, when eventually he'll come back to Phantom Six, having Mathers on, that literally means his match lives on the WWID video log because they are keeping storylines for all their ID guys, every
Right.
match for their ID guys. So Phantom Six would live when he finally comes back on their site. And I was like, because when I read that, I was like, man, all these companies that have great talent but aren't just getting looked at, one WWE ID guy can change the whole focus for that. And so that's
Right.
gonna be
And
something.
that's another thing now that coming to the realization now that he's a WWE ID guy. You know, uh the PWI 500 gets posted every year. We had, I don't remember the numbers necessarily, but we had a few guys that were at the first show on the PWI 500.
I think
And then,
you had like 5 or 6.
yeah, and then we had, technically we had a WWE representative now. It's crazy, right? Like, just all these little small things that it's like, wow, I did that. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's insane. And like I said, show
Uh-oh.
two is going to get crazier.
I think I froze.
Nah, you're good. You're good. I see you. You're moving.
I was like, somebody froze on my end. I think it was on my end real quick. I think I hit a dead zone. But no, you're right, dude. Like you have you have a just a melting pot of different talent that constantly come through. It's always fun to see, who you're gonna have next, what you're gonna do. Um, and I can't wait until the day that Ingorilla can partner up and do some more good stuff for Phantom 6. Like that's my goal now, is all of my friends, all their companies, everything like that, whether I do something cool or the name or whatever connections that Ingorilla brings helps you guys in some other way. And I mean, shit, that's ultimately the goal that I've always wanted. And now it's fun being able to be like, oh, we both created something, and now it's fun and it's exciting and it is
Right.
stressful, and you forget a lot of things, but it's still worth it in the end, man. I'm really proud of you for what you've done with Phantom 6, dog.
No, I appreciate that, man. Like, and that's the thing too. Always hearing that, I'm proud of you. That means a lot to me because, like I said, we talked about it the first time. I said it could go one or two ways. People are going to come out and enjoy the show and be very happy, or people are going to come out, the show's going to suck, and we never do it again. Luckily, the first option happened of it was a good time and everybody had fun and everybody keeps telling me how proud they are of me, and even for this show already, like I haven't even had this show yet and people are like, man, I can't wait, I'm proud of this already. Like, it's crazy and it means a lot to me because you know we all know why September happened. We all know why All Together happened. With losing my mom, uh, but I feel like I hear her voice through a lot of people saying, "I'm proud of you." As weird as that sounds, or as crazy as that sounds, I really truly mean that. So it's one of those things that it's like when I hear that, "I'm proud of you," it means everything to me.
And we're gonna keep saying it because you're gonna keep going. You're gonna keep
Yes,
driving this
sir.
force, and we're gonna see what else we got. All right, as we begin to wind down, man, where can everybody purchase tickets?
Right. So this show we're gonna do tickets at the door only, because the last time we had the Eventbrite, and with Eventbrite it kind of charged a few extra dollars. So I want to keep it at one price, at the set price of $10. I don't want anybody to get charged extra because, you know, times are hard for a lot of people with money and things like that. So I want to keep the set price of the $10. I don't want anybody paying extra. Plus, that $10, that's cheaper than a movie. That's cheaper than most sporting events now. It gets you in the door, and it gives you some extra money to maybe buy merchandise, or whatever you might want to buy at the show. But it's going to be tickets at door only. But if you message me directly and say, "Hey, I'm coming to the show. Can you hold a ticket for me at the door?" I will 100% do that. I will put your name on a paper. This way, we know, hey, this person's here. They're going to get their ticket. Just message me directly at my Facebook, which is Dylan Quinn, or on Instagram at dquinn_97, or on Twitter, or I'm sorry, X. I always say Twitter, as dquinn_97 on there. Or if you just find Phantom 6 on all social media platforms, just message me on there as well. And I will make sure we hold a ticket for you. But like I said, $10 gets you in the door. But also with the ticket price, if you're in the Lehigh Valley area, or anywhere near Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, if you get to Country Club Brewing before March 2nd, you get a discount on your ticket. So that's going to be $2 off your ticket. So the $10 turns into $8. But you
Ooh.
have to get to Country Club, get one of those cards saying you were there, proving that you were there, and you get in for $8. So that's a $2 discount, like I said. So we're giving you guys a great little, let's say, deal to get yourself to Country Club, support a local brewery, get some good beer, get some good seltzer, and then you come to Phantom 6 for $8.
So I have a question. Are you going to do any posters for this show or no?
Of course, yes, posters are going to be made. I will make sure you get one of these posters as well as the first show poster because I still got to get that to you as well. I have one sitting here for you.
Dude, my whole wall's going to be Phantom 6, I swear. But if
You know what you got to do with
yeah,
it? You got to put it. You got to start making like a 6. With the poster.
I
You
can do that. We
know.
can move these and just make a sketch with the posters. You gotta sign it though. You have to sign both of them. So
I will make sure I sign it. Yeah, I'll make sure.
that's dope, dog. So, ladies and gentlemen, it was great having the good brother here again for Downtime in the Ring promoting his show. Next time you see him, though, you will have to head over to ingorilla.com. You will have to sign up with a free account, and you will have to go over to Effing Around, because we are going to have him on Effing Around, where we don't have to talk about wrestling fully. We could talk about life, whatever we want. That's the show everybody likes going to now, is Effing Around. And we will see each and every one of you in the next video. Later, guys.